These are the names we know, the faces on our stamps and in our textbooks, the celebrated geniuses of North American innovation. But for every famous inventor, there are a dozen others whose brilliance was just as profound, but whose stories were lost to history. They are the ghosts in the machine of our modern world. Welcome to North American Life. Today, we pulling back the curtain on history to meet the unsung innovators, the minds behind discoveries that shaped our daily lives, yet whose names have been left out of the obvious narrative. Our first story takes us to the dawn of aviation. You know the Wright brothers. You might know Charles Lindbergh. But do you know Bessie Coleman? Born in 1892 to a family of sharecroppers in Texas, Bessie Coleman was a black and Native American woman. In America, in the 1910s, no flight school would accept her. The barriers of race and gender were simply too high, so what did she do? She learned French, saved her money, and moved to France. In 1921, at the age of 29, she earned her international pilot's license from the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale. She was the first African American and first Native American woman to become a licensed pilot. Returning to the U.S., Queen Bess became a sensational barnstorming pilot, dazzling crowds with her fearless aerial acrobatics. But her innovation wasn't just in her flying, it was in her vision. She refused to perform in any show that segregated the audience. She dreamed of starting a flight school for African Americans. Tragically, she died in a crash in 1926, her dream unfulfilled. But her legacy ignited a spark. She inspired a generation of black aviators, including the Tuskegee Airmen. She didn't just fly a plane. She flew in the face of an entire society's limitations. Next, a story that sits at the bitter intersection of innovation and injustice. In the early 1800s, sugar was white gold, but its production was a deadly, inefficient process called the Jamaica train. Enter Norbert Rillieux. Born in New Orleans in 1806 to a wealthy French engineer and a free woman of color, Rillieux was a brilliant engineering prodigy. He was sent to Paris for education and, by 24, was an instructor in applied mechanics. Seeing the brutal inefficiency of the sugar industry, Rillieux invented a revolutionary multiple-effect evaporator. It used a vacuum chamber and a series of pans to boil sugarcane juice at progressively lower temperatures. It was a masterpiece of thermodynamic engineering. What did it do? It dramatically cut the fuel needed to refine sugar. It produced a higher quality, whiter sugar crystal. And most importantly, it made the process far safer, removing workers from the direct danger of boiling vats. Rillieux's invention revolutionized the sugar industry, saving countless lives and making sugar affordable worldwide. His principles are still used today in the production of soap, gelatin, condensed milk, and other goods. Yet as a Creole man in the antebellum South, he faced immense prejudice and was often cheated out of the full credit and profits he deserved. He was an innovator who fed the world, but was pushed to the margins of its history. When we think of the pioneers of computing, we might think of Alan Turing or Steve Jobs. But the journey to the moon and the dawn of the computer age was powered by the mind of a woman whose name should be a household one, Dr. Evelyn Boyd Granville. In 1949, Evelyn Boyd Granville became only the second African-American woman in U.S. history to earn a Ph.D. in mathematics. Her specialty was functional analysis, a complex and abstract field. So what did she do with this incredible mind? She went to work for IBM and then for the Space Technology Center. There, her innovation was critical to the Apollo program. She literally wrote the computer programs that helped track the orbits of spacecraft and calculate the trajectories for the missions that sent astronauts to the moon. After her work with NASA, her innovation took another form. She became a passionate advocate for mathematics education, writing textbooks and teaching, determined to inspire the next generation. Evelyn Boyd Granville was a trailblazer who operated at the highest levels of abstract theory and applied engineering, helping to guide humanity to another world, all while breaking barriers on her own. You have heard this name. But the popular story of George Washington Carver has been reduced to a single, simple idea: the Peanut Man. The truth of his innovation is far more profound. Carver's true genius wasn't in inventing hundreds of uses for peanuts and sweet potatoes. That was a symptom of his real innovation. His true breakthrough was a revolutionary philosophy: sustainable agriculture. Carver looked at the ravaged southern soil and diagnosed the problem. Monoculture farming had stripped the earth of its nutrients, specifically nitrogen. His solution was radical for its time: crop rotation. He taught poor, black farmers to alternate cotton, which depletes nitrogen, with peanuts and soybeans, which restore nitrogen to the soil. This was a revolutionary, systems-thinking approach to farming. But here's the catch: a farmer can't eat nitrogen. So to make this new system economically viable, Carver had to create a market for these new crops. That is why he invented over 300 products from the peanut, from milk to ink to cosmetics, and over 100 from the sweet potato. His innovation wasn't a single product. It was a closed-loop, sustainable economic system designed to lift an entire population from poverty and environmental ruin. He was an ecological and economic visionary decades ahead of his time. So why does this matter? Why dig up these old stories? Because innovation doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's not just the privilege of the few in the right place, with the right background. It's in the mind of a woman who had to cross an ocean to fly, a man whose skin color denied him credit, a mathematician who calculated paths to the moon, and a botanist who saw the solution to poverty in the root of a plant. Their stories complete our history. They remind us that progress is a mosaic built by countless hands. By remembering them, we don't just honor the past. We inspire the future, showing that the next world-changing idea can come from anywhere and anyone. Which of these unsung innovators did you find most inspiring? Who else should we feature in a future video? Let us know in the comments. If you believe in uncovering the full story of North American life, please help us by liking this video, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell. Thanks for watching.